remix, 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 remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media. In case you didn't know, I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, bring you to that boom, to the bap, to the bap, to the boom. Coming to your room, night and noon. Every day when we do it. Cause we coming through like fluid. Now let me introduce you to it. What they call the Queen, Jackie Lupman. Jackie Lupman.
Hey, that was a really nice, energetic Wednesday wake up. That was nice. Yeah, thank you.
Women's Wednesday, let's go. Even though it's me and you. Listen.
Okay, so you a woman today?
I mean, I came from one.
This is true.
Bam. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I do like that. I really
appreciate y'all. I really do.
I know you do.
I love black women.
I know you do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it right there. That's lovely. That's lovely. I saw it in your face. I saw it brewing, and I was like, okay, all right, come on now. You place the compliment on the table. Now slowly back away from the compliment and just leave it there for everyone to enjoy. Don't adjust.
Big up chat room. Big up all beautiful sisters in the chat. Soul Mega. Big up to Amber Sherman. Check her out Friday on the Remix Morning Show. I heard she was in front of people getting loud. Leah Boggs. Yeah.
Still, how many years? Still, and we're still pronouncing the two names.
I know. I can't help it. Oh, Grease said, let's start it off early. Sending in $20 for the herb fund. Hey, let's get it.
Right.
Let's get it. What herbs we talking about?
More basil for me.
Oh, okay.
No, I actually don't like basil all that much. But
really, not even in your pizza, your spaghetti sauce.
I don't need it. It's not. It's okay, but I don't need it.
I don't think anybody ever said more basil.
I've never heard it, and I don't understand the love for pesto either. But hey, to each his own. I'm just a simple country girl who likes her rice and vegetables. And rice and peas and
I hook up a mean pesto pasta type joint.
I don't
you ain't had mine. You ain't. That's the difference, Jackie.
I've had enough pesto to know that your pesto is going to be just as displeasing.
No.
It's not who makes the pesto. It's pesto that I have a problem with.
Yeah, trust me, Jackie. The cooking I do. Mwah. Yeah.
Not if you cooking pesto.
Okay, well, what you say? That's like when I talk about making okra. Some people be like, "Yeah, it's so slimy." I'm like, "Not how I cook it, not how I do it. This is banging."
No.
Ooh, and I put it over a nice bed of rice with some tomatoes and some onions. And not even okra.
Tomatoes? Why are you messing with up my tomatoes with the okra? Why? Why you?
Oh, Grease is balling out today. $20 more. This is Amber's. Whoa.
Goodness.
We'll see.
Is it the okra or is it what? What is happening? Goodness.
It got to be the okra, but yeah, they talking about Amber got a herb fund. We'll see if you might want to send that on Friday because that's coming over here. Hey, shit.
With everything going on in the world, I don't have a herb fund, but listen, this whiskey fund is like every day. Like Jesus Christ.
Yo,
Oh,
I mean, yeah, we're never running out of news. And I seen you did your last Darker Than Blue, talking about where to find the real media at. And I definitely say it's pretty hard. I mean, you can't really find anything that's real now with AI and just people jumping on and getting paid to give you wrong information, and it's wicked out here. Can you even look at the BBC anymore? They
I have a yeah,
cahoots.
I have a hard time. I I keep I keep like the legacy corporate media sources, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, the Atlantic, that kind of stuff. I do read those
Mm,
outlets, the LA Times, all the yeah, I read them. But in the sense that you should know what your enemy is talking about. You should know what you're, and
mhm.
especially when they're talking about your rights and especially genocide, right?
Yeah.
Because as much as I hate CNN, and I have CNN has been I've been on the outs with them before Barry Weiss became the whatever it is she is, I guess the editor in chief, or I don't know what her title is, but you could see the influence of this Zionist on the way news is reported on CNN
Mhm.
just in the past few days. Because did everybody who watches or reads CNN notice that all of a sudden there is an exclusive report that CNN says that proves that there were that Hamas committed extensive sexual assaults on October 7th.
Mm.
After that story was debunked repeatedly because it was a lie in the first place, now CNN is all of it. The CNN that didn't talk about Gaza for 2.5 years,
Damn.
didn't even mention, could understood that if they said anything about Israel at all, they would have to frame it in the context of Gaza. So mostly they didn't say anything about Israel because they didn't
Mm.
want to talk about um, uh, Israel committing genocide. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, let's talk about Israel, and let's continue the lies
Mm.
to keep up this manufactured consent to keep killing Arabs. That's all. That's all it is. Because
Mm.
at the same time, you've got Ben Gvir in Palestine, in occupied Palestine, talking about the death penalty law for Palestinians, and he is quoted on Israeli news as saying this law is going to pass. I am telling you this, me as someone who has taken everything from them, meaning the Palestinians.
Mhm.
I've taken their homes, I've taken their businesses, I've taken their he's talking about all the stuff that he's taken from these people, openly admitting, yeah, we stole everything from them. And then he said, so yes, I want to take their lives too.
Damn.
That's what he said on Israeli television. And at the same time, you've got CNN now under the editorial control of Zionist Barry Weiss, who spearheaded it, who I think was involved in that lie, in spreading that lie about the mass rapes committed by Hamas on October 7th. Now she's the editor or editor in chief over at CNN, and suddenly this lie resurfaces
Mm.
at the same time that this death penalty law is being pushed. And Ben Gvir is openly saying, yeah, I want to kill more Palestinians.
So,
What media? What media in this country?
yeah, and one of the stories we got is Byron Allen is buying BuzzFeed and will become CEO.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
I seen it.
so is he ally Byron or no?
What
I
how
don't
what
know. Is
he
he gonna give us? Is he? I mean, he's connected, so I don't know if he's gonna give us that real. Also,
connected to what?
the structure.
Okay. Oh, I can't. Well, yeah. I
Yeah, so
mean,
I don't think he's going.
like, why? I have so many questions. I have so many questions about that, and this whole, black people, rich black people buying media outlets, and why we get so excited about that when we don't hear from these people any other time. But anyway, okay, we can save that for the news segment because I
Yeah,
I saw that and I'm like, why? Like, what are you?
you
Are
know,
you trying to help? Why?
I mean, he realizes the importance of media. He's been
But
doing it, right?
BuzzFeed, who is BuzzFeed? And
I never even heard of it. Actually, I ain't gonna hold you.
well, BuzzFeed has been around for a long time,
Okay.
but of all the independent media outlets that you might want to acquire, why? But we have to start asking questions
Mm.
about people doing things instead of immediately just like getting excited when a black person does a thing and automatically assume that because a black person is doing a thing it's going to benefit us. I how many
Can I keep it going with you since you brought that up?
Okay. Yeah,
Please.
okay, all right. Oh my
Another
God.
black person is doing something big, y'all. And she goes by the name of Kwanzaa Jones. She is
Hmm?
the first black person to hold a majority ownership stake in Major League Baseball history,
Oh
following an
my God.
agreement to purchase the San Diego Padres for $3.9 billion with her husband Jose E. Feliciano. I messed that up. Feliciano. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you did.
I said
Say it again though, because that was pretty. I love
that was good. Keep
I
Feliciano.
love the flourish. Flourish and wrong as hell, but it was flourishing.
Feliciano.
Jose Delected. Jose Delicioso.
Yeah, man. So I mean, we coming up like the Jeffersons, Jackie.
Who's coming up? Who's coming up? I mean, as much as I loved me some Uncle Nearest, I wasn't coming up giving them people $60 every 3 weeks
Nah,
only to
no.
find out they won't pay in their bills. I mean,
Listen,
so
listen.
okay, so a black woman buys a majority stake in a baseball team.
Hmm.
Okay. Look, here are the
Now
questions.
what?
Here are the questions. Who is she? Do you know her?
Yeah.
Have you known her before you heard about her in this context? What's her connection to us? What has been her connection to us? And does she have a track record of using those resources that she and her husband have for supporting the people?
Well,
Supporting the us. Where are they from? I guess are they from California? What's
well,
their track record in California? What they've been doing? We don't ask questions, and that's how we keep getting got by these
well,
people.
well. Jones was born in California, man,
Hmm.
and she, in addition to her arts and athletics, Jones served on the D.C. State Board of Education as elected student member.
Hmm.
She also
Okay,
attended Princeton University. Uh,
elected student member. So when she was in high school, that lady she is my age. And just like I'm not gonna tell you
yeah.
for my credentials that I was in close up, that I was the Blue Senior High School representative for Washington D.C. in close up, and
Mm.
and I was on what was that stupid thing? Who's Who in student whatever it was. That doesn't matter to my organizing now. Why would I? I don't care what she did in high school. She was the D.C. student council. They don't do anything.
Mm. I, I
They
was
don't pay any attention to those students.
I
They
was
never had.
I was treasury in the choir.
See?
My church
I
choir.
am kind of surprised that they let you be treasurer.
Hey, they knew.
But
They know I know business now. Come on.
but hey, look, all are welcome.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I want to know, and then once I get past those questions, then I want to know what their ownership stake in this team means for not just the players,
mhm.
because people forget that sports teams are not just made up of the athletes, they're made up of the staff, and the staff is not just the coaches, it's the assistants, it's the student assistants, it's the cheerleaders that don't get paid nearly as much, not nearly as much as people think. That it's the band. If the sports team has a band, it's the mascot who doesn't get paid nearly as much. It's the line judges, it's the equipment
Mhm.
managers, and that's a fancy title, equipment manager,
Mhm.
for the equivalent of a ball boy
Mm.
in football and baseball, like
Uh,
tennis. So they're people who work in the stadium, um, taking care of the teams, uh, uh, like their clothes. Who do you think does the laundry for a sports team? Who do
it's
you think cleans up the locker room?
it's it's
After a
it's a
sport.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the reality of a sports team. The people who work in the arena, who work the ticket box, who work that is all a part of the sports team. So it's okay, fantastic, lovely, wonderful. These this black lady, and this I guess he's from, where is he from?
I don't know. It's Feliciano. He sound like New York.
Lord
I'm
have
just
mercy.
saying.
Anyway,
I knew a Feliciano in Jersey and Trenton, but anyway,
his name wasn't Jose, was it?
it was
You're too young. You're too young. You're
no,
too young.
nah,
You'll never
Jose
remember
Feliciano.
that.
Oh, I know Jose. Anyway, we got a live report here from Cove 24. Donald Trump and Elon Musk just touched down in Beijing. Uh-oh, what they going over
Oh,
there?
well, let me,
We going
because we don't need to get, we've been in enough trouble.
All right,
Uh,
enough jibber jabber. I guess it's time to take a break and get into some news. So let's go ahead and do that while we
yeah.
getting everything together over here. Let me see. I think I started off with a little mix. That's what we do. All right,
Okay.
right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Oh, let's skip a full screen. Nah, I mean, so I could be seen.
To the best of my knowledge, I guess that I'm fresh on what I manifest. I never hold it. What's going on, John? Sir KRS, what's the purpose of you stopping me?
Yo, man, kicked around. You was just kicking at me a while ago.
I'll wax and maim, rappers who proclaim to be the epitome of this game. Frontin' like you're hard, rugged and rough, soft like butter, creamy like a pup on the mic. No sense, no evidence. Just listen to the gangster and I will convince all that my power of speech. The title of the gangster they tried to impeach, but it is protected by the black and the red. It's not true, all gangsters are dead. Not a gangster with a gun doing crime, none of that. Killer MC with the rhyme, cause I'm the gangster of rap. In fact, I'm the dominant black. Coming full on, and power that's packed. For all the party people, this is a fact. For all the pioneers, I'm going way back.
All right, let me take you way back to a time. We're talking about the year of 1987 with the man called Just Ice. Yes, off this album, Cool and Deadly. Name of that song is Going Way Back on the Ear Doctor beat I just put together last night. So, yo, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. Go to Patreon, become a member. Yo, we got dope stuff, we got merch, we got all that, man. So support. If you can't do much, go ahead and donate so we can make sure this real media gets to the people. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix One Show.
Mhm.
We will rock you. Mm, 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 mm. That was a hard song right there that we were rocking.
I mean, who hasn't used it quite well? It's just Queen is still.
Yeah,
Freddie
yeah.
Mercury.
With a mustache. If you say,
I'm gonna accept that. I am.
yeah,
I am.
it's
I'm gonna accept
iconic.
it.
It's an iconic mustache.
It
Like
is. It's true. It's true.
yeah, I wouldn't leave him anyway. I'll be nice.
Okay, back away. Back up. Set it on the table.
like
Back
if,
away
like
from the.
if you was to look up perv
No,
in the
no,
dictionary and see a
no,
picture.
no.
All right.
Your
Okay.
picture.
All
Yours.
right. You're
No.
right. Maybe.
Uh-uh.
All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and welcome
Toss
out
that
to
satellite. And let's stay out of trouble this morning.
I try. All right, welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I'm the ear doctor. That's Jackie Lukeman. You are tuned in on this beautiful May 13th day. Thank you all for being a part of the show, the Remix Morning Show, that is.
Yes. So let's see. Do you want to continue with the Byron Allen thing since we were talking about it?
Go ahead. I mean, since we're talking media, we started off talking about media and where people should be coming to get their media, which is right here. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's a very important thing when you're talking about being able to control the narrative. And I think Byron Allen understands that. Like, he's been doing it for a while, right? Like buying up news stations and
how has what narrative has he controlled?
The narrative of some people that watch BuzzFeed, apparently. Since they believe what's going on when they watch it.
Lord
so
have mercy.
I mean, it's true, ain't it?
Let's see. So here is the story. I don't, this is, who cares? But Byron Allen is buying BuzzFeed, will become the CEO. The site founder, Jonah Peretti, will become the president of, I guess, another
BuzzFeed AI.
Part of it, BuzzFeed AI. Oh my God. TV and media entrepreneur Byron Allen is acquiring a majority stake. And see, stop telling me you're buying something, but then we get into the details and we find out, oh, you're just buying a majority stake in it. So you don't outright own it.
But ain't that how they get us to follow? Be like, oh my goodness, another black person is buying something.
Exactly. This is it. And this is why you got to read the article and stop celebrating whenever they tell you it's the first black person buying something. They ain't buy you nothing. Did they buy anything for you? Did they pay your mortgage? Did they buy your groceries? Then why are you excited that Byron Allen is buying BuzzFeed? You don't read BuzzFeed. You ain't never heard of BuzzFeed.
Because that means
BuzzFeed hasn't done anything for you.
I mean, we could be next in. We could be next in line, Jackie.
Lord have mercy. TV and media entrepreneur is acquiring a majority stake in BuzzFeed, investing $120 million in the 20-year-old digital media company, and will become CEO. Allen plans to expand BuzzFeed and HuffPost. HuffPost was originally Huffington Post, and it was created by Ariana Huffington, go look her up, into free streaming video, audio, and user-generated content. So he's going to turn it into another YouTube? BuzzFeed on Monday. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying, I mean, that's the thing right now. It's like nobody's watching TV. They're just looking at their phone. So if you own these social media Facebook, Instagram, X. Those are the new news outlets for what a lot of the youth are even paying attention to. Like nobody's watching TV, just like nobody's listening to the radio. Continue.
Thank you. BuzzFeed on Monday announced that it entered into a transaction agreement with Allen Family Digital, an affiliate of Byron Alley's family office, under which BuzzFeed will accept the majority investment. Peretti, who co-founded the company in 2006, will be succeeded by Allen. Okay, yeah, and then Peretti will transition to a newly created role as president of BuzzFeed AI.
Mm-hmm.
The deal is currently expected to close by the end of May 26. Let's see. With the sale to Allen, Peretti said in a statement, BuzzFeed plans to make significant changes, including cost reductions. That means firing people in
pretty
business
much.
every single time.
It's in the title, AI. That means jobs are being lost. Continue.
That's right. Cost reductions and setting up BuzzFeed studios, including vertical micro dramas, animation, digital video, and premium studio, including feature films, and Tasty. I don't know what that is. We have to look that up, as a new independent entity. So look, this is interesting. What does this mean? BuzzFeed and HuffPost are news outlets. They're independent. Now they report on all kinds of news, entertainment, and all that kind of stuff, and politics and all that kind of stuff. But they're a news outlet. Doesn't this sound to me like Allen is turning? Now, I was joking with turning it into YouTube, but doesn't this seem to sound like what Allen is really going to do is try to turn these outlets into movie and video studios, streaming services for, what does this say here? I don't know what a vertical microdrama is, but that's a movie to me. Microdrama, animation, digital video, premium studio, including feature films. Where's the news? Where's the news that you're supposed to get from that's supposed to be so much better for us? Because
Jackie.
now Byron Allen
has
a controlling stake. What?
Jackie controlling the narrative. I'm telling you. TV is culture. Why we got an echo? Does that mean? No. But the fact that TV is culture. People gonna be watching these movies. They're gonna be watching these animes, and it's going. He know what he doing. He
Well, I'm not gonna. You know what, ear doctor? I'm not gonna deny that. I'm not gonna reject that. You're right. You're right. He does know what he's doing for him. He absolutely knows it. And I think this is where we have to understand, when we ask these questions, what we need to realize. It's fine that Byron Allen does with his money what he wants. Okay, fine. Yeah. He wants to, buy all of these media outlets. Cool. All right. I just wonder what it is we think we're going to get from it, that we celebrate it so much. Like every time he does this, we're always, Byron Allen is good. And what have you benefited from Byron Allen buying the Weather Channel? You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, it's useful.
Yeah.
But
I report the weather every week.
So I and it's not like I don't peruse BuzzFeed every once in a while, but it's not all that useful to me because the coverage is very liberal. The commentary is very weak. And there's not a whole lot of real anti-capitalist, anti-imperialist analysis, because you'd have to know who Arianna Huffington is to understand that she is a liberal. So,
I mean, going back to your Darker Than Blue, it's media. That's why you got Tyler Perry studio. That's why you got 50 Cent buying a studio down in Louisiana or wherever, Baton Rouge or whatever. You got Cat Williams talking about buying a studio. I mean, listen, they realizing, we got to get on these We got to get on these phones that everybody is addicted to right now and give them this information. Get money off of
Take me now. It's okay.
them.
I
I mean, I
It's all
love
right.
the Power series from 50 Cent. It's a damn
It's
shame that I'm addicted to violence, gangsters, and guns. And
look, you we can. I'm right there with you. Yes, I love a good shootout. I
yeah,
love a good car
yeah,
chase, and you better blow something up in the movie.
yes.
I love it. Love it. Love a good monster eating people, destroying it. Love it.
Mhm.
Yes, but see, I understand, and because once you realize how pervasive the propaganda is in everything that every media conception that we have, you can see the threads of propaganda in like your favorite outlet. Ricky talks about this all the time.
Mhm.
So I don't begrudge people their so-called guilty pleasures and the things that they watch, because I don't think they're guilty pleasures. You like what you like, and we
Yeah.
all need a little bit of escapism in this hellhole. um I just want people to understand that everything that we enjoy in the media does come with a certain level of propaganda that, until we're made aware of it, we don't realize that's what it is.
Mhm.
And we don't realize how much, this is the thing, we don't realize how much the state has always been involved in the entertainment industry in every aspect and iteration in this country, specifically to propagandize people. So, and that has never changed.
Yeah,
The
because
Department of Defense, the Pentagon still
has a
approves.
budget.
Yeah, Hollywood script. No, the Pentagon approves Hollywood scripts.
Hmm.
The Pentagon approves Hollywood scripts for movies that reference the US military in any way at all, whether historical, it has a part in their plot about the use of military weapons, about mentioning military installations. If you are mentioning the US military in any way in a Hollywood movie, the Pentagon would like a word, an input on your script.
Because I went to go see Michael, and the previews showed Steven Spielberg doing a new space movie, like alien movie, and I'm like, what's coming next, y'all? Because I swear, I don't know what it is. It is distraction to keep us looking up in the sky and not looking at what's going right here. I don't know what it is, or is it finally going to be like, you know what? E.T. back in the day. Now you got another alien movie coming up. So yeah, he's definitely making. The Pentagon was like, okay, this is Steven Spielberg. You know.
Look, I'm not sure if people realize, and this is not like an esoteric, oh, it's only the teeny little movies that nobody has ever heard of that the Pentagon. No, how about Transformers? The
Mm.
entire Transformer series. The entire Transformer series, but especially the first couple of movies, particularly the one, I can't remember which one it was, with who is it? Tyrese Gibson,
Oh
and
yeah,
they're in
yeah,
the
yeah,
desert,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah. So the Pentagon reads the script and they approve the language and the context, because if you frame, basically the Pentagon will not let you tell the truth about about the history of US military aggression. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going to talk about the Pentagon in Central America, the Pentagon, or the US military in Central America, the Pentagon is not going to allow you to include in the script the truth about what the US military has done and is still doing in Central America. Marvel movies, the Pentagon approves those and takes out any negative references to the US military.
Mm.
So all of these cop shows, all of these, propaganda shows, and I don't care if it's Chicago Fire, the firemen, the heroic firemen, the EMTs.
Mm.
Nah,
The hospital
state
shows.
approval, state
Mm.
approval,
Yeah, yeah.
state approval. So
Because
I'm not sure.
what if you have one of these ER shows and they come on talking about, oh, we got the cure for cancer? Oh no, we can't. We can't do that.
What?
We can't put that on the show.
Well, yeah, remember Tyrese. Yes, I remember Tyrese. A little chocolate drop with his. That's okay. Anyway,
You just had a verses with a turtleneck on. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
oh my God, I didn't say he was talented. I said he was good.
He can sing. He can sing. You can hit a note or two. Especially in that Coca-Cola commercial back in the day. But continue.
That's not. You don't. That's okay. That's the.
Sidetrack.
But yeah, I mean, I want people to understand that when the black petty bourgeoisie accomplishes something, it's not that it's bad. It's that the question for radicals, the question for revolutionaries, Pan-Africans, pro-Black folks, whatever you call yourself, the question is always, how does this benefit the masses in a material way? And benefit, for me at least, it's never like this question of esoteric, like this was the conversation with Black Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I never understood why people would be like violently opposed to the criticism of Black Panther, and the fact that yes, for some of us, seeing ourselves the representation of a culture that we were disconnected from, forcibly disconnected from, and now that too many of us willingly disconnect ourselves from, because man, even in the short period of time, ear doctor, that Black Panther came out, and now this whole ADOS FBA thing has exploded. And it's wild because when the first Black Panther came out, Black folks were like, yes, this is us. We are African. This is who we are.
I took my whole family to the movies in dashikis.
Yeah, I loved seeing all of the videos on Insta and well, I didn't have TikTok because, as an adult, I was afraid of all the kids on TikTok because, oh my God, way too much teenage hormones I can't. But I loved seeing the parents going to the movies with their kids dressed up in African. I loved it. And the joy on the parents' faces, being able to feel really good about taking their children to a movie made by the same Hollywood that treats us like crap in every other movie. We're some kind of stereotype in every other movie that we are in. But here we have this whole movie that is nothing but a positive, if you don't look closely at the politics.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because a lot of people don't look at politics, but they see that image. And that was the whole thing with Obama. It was the pride.
And this is the thing. It's a double-edged sword. It's a catch-22, but it's one of the most dangerous catch-22s that there are, I think, because this is how the empire keeps us from examining the politics. They give us representation. So yeah, Black and really, if you read the comics, you would understand why there was so much criticism about the movie Black Panther, because it's not as true but no movie is, right? Because that's also true. But I did enjoy seeing particularly young Black people celebrating that connection to Africa that was not manipulated into a bad or embarrassing or, a comical or backward kind of thing. It was a glorious, beautiful, proud representation of an African culture or the conception of an African culture.
Because a lot of
as
us be
troublesome.
Jungle bunnies. A lot of people was like, this is what Africa is. Now they like, oh shit, that's what Africa look like.
But right. So but again, even in me saying that about the representation, it looks that way if you don't pay attention to the politics, because you can't look at a movie like Black Panther and be celebratory of the representation without getting into the politics that the representation is conveying.
Yeah, because the CIA saved the day, didn't they?
And in the
A white
comics,
man.
that's not how he was treated.
Oh man, they had people.
He was
People
not
that watch comics hate
trusted.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, we comic heads and we book
Yeah.
readers, we can't stand it when movies fuck up the the plot.
But isn't
But
that
I
what
also,
movies supposed to be? Is about inclusion in a way. They'll change scripts and change it around so they can get more people to be like on the same page. So
no,
no.
because we don't read, so that's why people don't really care about the 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 fidelity to the text, to the book that the movie doesn't have. Because and I think that is also a function of the politics in this country, because almost always what happens when this disconnect between what happens in the book and what happens in a movie, it's always the watering down of what happens in the book. Because okay, here's another example, and I think this is an even better example.
Mhm.
Well, with Black Panther, the CIA agent, in order for that movie to be made, in order for Black Panther to be made based on the concept of the comic book, the CIA agent had to be made into a hero because he was not in the
Mhm.
comics.
Mm.
In the comics, he was a pesky, bumbling, always in the way, always being told to get the fuck out the way,
Mhm.
white man by Black Panther.
Yeah.
So that they couldn't let that stand. So that's just one example of the kind of changes between the narrative in the book or the story that doesn't get translated to the movie. And then you have to ask yourself, why change that? The
Well, this the
politics
the
behind the thing.
argument against that could be like this is fiction, so you can do whatever you really want. It doesn't have to stick to the comic book, right?
Okay, and that is true.
Yeah.
However, when we're talking about propaganda,
Yeah, that's a
what
different.
is changed? Because artistic license is the thing. Like, for
Mhm.
example, I wrote this book that I pray to God is coming out at the end of June or something like that. And in my head, in my heart of hearts, do I hope that somebody is like, oh, so brilliant, let's make a movie out of it? I don't know how you would do that, but
Mhm.
let's make a Netflix series. It's like, yes, that would be cool because, yeah. So please don't think that because I'm an organizer, I don't also want to have some money,
Please. I mean,
because
speaking of, big up to old dirty Kung Fu sending in $5. Following Black Panther was Lupita's historical reaction to the history around the Woman King becoming popular. And that was a good movie because
interesting.
it made me think of Queen and Zinga.
I'm gonna admit, never
Mhm.
watched the movie. Never
Oh
watched it.
yeah, it was
Didn't
good
watch it. So
because
I can't. I'm not gonna.
Queen of
Mhm.
Singa fought the Portuguese for 40 years, and that story
She
ain't
did.
really been told. So
She
it's
did.
you know.
Hmm. Yes, she did. But so the other example of changing how drastically, even in a television series, or
Mhm,
and yeah, well, this is a cable series, and how and I'm still sticking with comic books because I know Americans don't read. And so as much. So I'm not
right.
even gonna mess with the literary, the book.
Mhm,
But I'm gonna stick with the graphic novels because I love comics. Kirkman's comic series, The Walking Dead, uh it is some of the most horrifying, traumatizing, like, what is wrong with this man's mind stuff that
mhm.
I have ever read in a comic. And I know there's much worse stuff out there, and always has been. But when I read The Walking Dead a few years ago, because I love zombies, I love the whole zombie genre. And interestingly
Mhm.
enough, for the politics of it. So I was really interested in this idea of a graphic novel about zombies. Huh. So heard about it, started getting into it, and the depravity and the violence. It is. Oh my God.
Mm.
Now, turn to the Walking Dead series on AMC. When I heard that AMC had acquired the rights to make a series on Kirkman's graphic novels, I knew damn well there was no way they could actually convey to the screen what is in those comics. Here's one example. There is a story arc in the Walking Dead series and in the graphic novels about this character called the Colonel,
Mm.
and he's running a people have to find places to survive in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, and he and his people are holed up in a prison. They cleaned out all of the zombified inmates, and so they Michonne is kidnapped in the Kirkman novel, and she is brutalized in ways that I had nightmares about for a while
Mm.
in the graphic novel. So in the Walking Dead series, that's not in there because there is no way. I mean, we're talking levels of torture that they probably that probably started like the body horror genre. Like think Hostel,
Mm.
but with some sexual depravity thrown in there. There was no way AMC could. I'm sure they probably wanted to, but the FCC was like, you what? And this is even after cable TV and even what's on network TV has become more and more graphic over the years. But when we look at something like that and we see the I wouldn't call it artistic license. I guess I would call it professional license. I don't
Mm.
know. When you read the original story or text or book, and that what is depicted in the book it won't be depicted in anything that commercial media produces. Like, as freaked out as people were about The Walking Dead when it first came on, because people really were like, "Oh my God, this is so horrible," and everybody who read the graphic novels were like, "Y'all ain't seen shit. This is nothing."
Mm. Well, I watch Fallout. You ever watch that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's very political. The whole okay, and it's always these end of the world. The people in charge got their bunkers. They got everything set up, just like we even talk about now. How they got bunkers in these, like, what is it? Facebook guy got a bunker in the islands over here. Like they got everything set up. Like, listen, we know the world's going to shit, and we got spaceships ready to go. We got bunkers ready to go. And there's going to be a separation in classes, and y'all going to be out here struggling, fighting for just water and food, while we got everything in bunkers over here. So you better get down with the team now if you want to survive. So it's
I
definitely like that.
mean, and then I see. I do watch a lot of television, probably too much television. Because
Oh,
I do.
Paradise,
I need
another one.
and I
Yeah.
avoided that series for months. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I avoided that series for months because I'm like, man, this looks like another one of those you got to better trust the government
Yeah.
propaganda kind of things. But I'm glad I watched it
Yeah.
because it is pretty good. It's well made.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good apocalypse story. Anyway,
Yeah.
I like apocalypse stories because we all have fantasies.
They just came out with another one, Greenwich or whatever. I think part 2, something about
Greenwich, Greenland, Green.
Greenland. Yeah, Greenland part
Just
2.
say
I
it
don't
was
know what else.
terrible. It was terrible.
You checked it out already?
Of course I did. It's a disaster movie. Of course I did. I love a disaster
Like, it's
movie.
so
I
many
love a
end of the
Godzilla
world.
movie. I love a King Kong. Listen, the new Godzilla movies that are coming out, don't bother me. Don't bother me. I love my kaiju. I
And then
love
when
my
you
Gojira.
and then when you get to talking about a certain history and stuff, even like as they saying Lovecraft Country, that was my shit.
Oh,
And
I
they took that off.
love
I was like, do you know how good this is? But
that,
it
and
was,
that's why they took it off. That's
oh my
because
God.
I have a weird theory about why Lovecraft Country was not renewed. Now, there's plenty of critique about each episode. Every episode wasn't fantastic. There were some episodes I'm like, y'all didn't have to do. You didn't have to do that. Why? You did like the one episode where the sister wants to become a white lady, and
Mm.
that whole transfer. I love some horror, and I can
See,
take some gore because I like zombie movies. But I'm
yeah,
like, come on, y'all. We
man.
did not have. We ain't need this.
That was good. Stop, Jackie. That whole series, the when she went out of the space, the black. Oh my
No,
God.
the series was. I loved the series.
Watchmen.
I
Yeah.
really did. I love the series. But I think the very last episode of was it the
Lovecraft Country.
second season when they're in the car, they're traveling, they come upon this town, and then there seems to be this revolt of the working class because
Mm.
everybody, it's like a mill or a mine, and everybody comes out to fight this entity that is threatening them, and it's set up as a serious like class battle. And
Hmm.
I think that is the episode that they were like, nah, we can't,
Yeah.
we see what y'all niggas was doing,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
out. you know
They don't
we
want
see
too
what
much
y'all niggas was doing.
yeah, because a lot of them be revolution movies when it comes to the classes, and we like, yo, we need that water, we need the supplies. We fuck that. Y'all ain't taking all this stuff. So
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was good. Now H.P. Lovecraft himself was a racist piece of shit.
wait a minute.
But
So this is the guy. This is a person.
Lovecraft Country
Uh-huh.
is based on the stories of H.P. Lovecraft,
Oh,
who
okay.
in the genre of written horror and science fiction he is an icon, he is a trailblazer.
Mhm.
Cthulhu, my favorite imaginary one of my favorite imaginary monsters, comes from a Lovecraft story. I do
Mhm.
love H.P. Lovecraft, and I found out about his bullshit many years later, as many people do. But I read H.P. Lovecraft first in middle school,
Hmm.
because that's when I found out I really love this kind of dark fantasy kind of thing. So yeah, I needed help as a child.
Well, I'm
Um,
I'm waiting for this Octavia Butler Parable of the Sower movie because I'm
oh,
if they fuck that up, listen, I'm
we
gonna
should
be mad.
riot. We should riot.
I'm gonna be
I'm
mad,
just
mad. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, if they mess that up, it
Yeah.
honestly, if they mess up Octavia, but she should come back.
Oh, and that'll be a whole ghost. That'll be a whole
And
nother
and
one.
and rampage however she chooses, and I would be okay with that,
Yeah,
because I there I'm
yeah,
some things don't need to be translated into mass consumption, um kind of, because for me I think this whole discussion about the changes that are made between books and movies, yes, part of it is artistic license,
hmm,
part of it is uh production kind of stuff. Yes, part of it is what the censors or the FCC will allow,
yeah,
but part of it is also um oversimplifying things, so that and not telling a complete story, or telling a key part of a story completely differently, so it will be more acceptable to a wider audience in a movie, as compared to how it is reflected in the book, which to me dumbs the story down. It
yeah.
dilutes the story. and that just serves to dumb people down because we don't deal with complex. Well, what critical thinking? We ain't got no critical thinking.
So here's the thing with that though, Jackie. At the same time, you got these big stories and these books where you can't fit it all in a 2-hour movie. Just like the Michael movie I just went and seen. It was all about the greatness of Michael. It talked of no politics, and it was like, let's put this out here. Michael should have been a series, and I know they talking about doing a part 2 and showing more, but they didn't touch any of the politics of Michael. It was all about the fluff of Michael. So even when we talk about, even when they did the Malcolm X, I know we always go to that one. You can't put all that in a movie. All the stuff that went down, you could put, it won't be, this movie would be like 5 hours. So you got to do series nowadays to convey all that.
Yes, that's true because look, you can't convey all of the nuance and every single thing that you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
However, from what I read of the Lord of the Rings, because see, it's not like it hasn't been done, right? From what I read of the Lord of the Rings, yeah, they let, and I haven't read the whole series because that kind of fantasy I don't enjoy reading all that much. But I read it because it's important, you know. Yes, some things in the book were left out for that reason because they just can't, you can't put everything. But then that's why they have series. That's why they have, sequels. So they're like, we couldn't tell this here, but let's tell it in like Game of Thrones. Okay, in the book, the whole the history of the dragons is a part of the book. Well, they could put that in the first series, Game of Thrones, because you can't tell the story of the history of the dragons while you're telling the story because the series will still be going on in the first season so they had to do another series to focus on the history of the dragons, and right, so yeah, I get that. I get all that, absolutely. But if the folks who did the Lord of the Rings movies could tell much of that story the key parts very faithfully, even as they left out some stuff that really wasn't that impactful. You can't tell me that other folks can't make more of an effort to do it. Now, I understand that the powers that be in Hollywood are powerful unto life and death. I get that. I also get that, right? And some producers in Hollywood have far much more power than like a Tyler Perry. I don't care how many movies he makes. As long as he keeps making those movies, Hollywood doesn't have a problem with Tyler Perry.
So Jackie, I know something that can help us to not get mad anymore.
What's that?
If we stop looking at the order of book then movie and look at movie as the promo to the book. You see what I'm saying? Because it's always like we mad because the movie doesn't follow the book. But let's just look at it as, okay, this movie is a promo to read the book. Just like Malcolm X. Because a lot of people seen this movie and was like, oh shit, well, let me learn more about Malcolm X. But a lot of people that read the book first was like, wait a minute, it left out this, that. Now, if I look at it like, okay, this is an introduction. Now let me go read the book because I didn't know about the dragons and all that shit. When it came out on TV, I was like, oh, this is dope.
Yeah.
Am I going to go back and read the book?
No.
But but if I'm really interested and people are telling me like, yo, it's so much more, then I could go ahead and read the book.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird. I want people, and again, we had the conversation about how I got to love reading so much and why I love words and why I'm big on reading will save your life. Reading will change your life. But I don't want to shame people into doing it. I know that people do not enjoy reading in this country because we have not been conditioned to enjoy reading. We've been conditioned to receive information given to us in a particular way, in small bits. Make it quick, make it simple, make it quick, small bites, and not too complicated. So when we are educated, we're educated to memorize. We're not educated to critically think. We are given dates, names, and the facts we are told to remember. We are not given a context. We are not given an idea of a thing that happened and brought into conversation about, this is how it started, this is what happened leading up to it, and this is what developed. What are your thoughts on this thing that we're not taught that way? We're taught, Columbus sailed the ocean blue in
Names,
1492.
Names,
Right?
dates, and pass the test. That's all we.
Right.
That's all we got to know. And
That's right.
and that's the thing, Jackie. Like, I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Reading, after a while, I get sleepy. My eyes start fucking with me, and I'm just like, yo, I can't. I gotta go to sleep. I gotta take a nap. But what was we just talking about? I just had a brain. But
you don't read. That's what happens when you don't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, nah, it's true. I don't read like that. And when it came to college and learning, okay, this is where I was going. When it came to college and learning about my history, then I was like, oh, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying reading these books because I'm learning something. This is about me. This is something I haven't learned. And it was a great thing then. But just like you said, when it comes to coming up in school, taking these tests, you got to learn names, dates, and stuff and pass the test. It's not enjoyable. And it's not giving us anything.
But also, in a very material way, let's look at the material realities of reading, right? It takes time to read a book. It does. It takes a kind of time that we in this country are not used to having. We working class and poor folks, because see, rich folks have all the leisure time in the world because they don't work.
Yeah,
they don't work.
They can make paintings and stuff.
Right? They don't work. So they have all of that. Their whole life is leisure time and fucking with us, stealing our money. But we, the working class and the poor and those of us who produce their wealth from our labor, we don't have any leisure time to like. For me, reading was a weekend kind of experience, just like playing video games, because I used to play video games too. I was a big Tomb Raider fan. So I would go downstairs in the basement and I literally close the curtains, put my music on, and take my snacks and my drinks and me and the dog and the blanket, and I'm in that book the whole weekend. And it was an incredible experience. Or, I'm doing my little video game, turning the lights off and trying to beat the dinosaur in down in the pit in that one level of Tomb Raider for 2 days.
And I only got to read and write when I was on the bus or the train.
And but now here we are, a society where everybody that we know is working a bunch of gig jobs and a full-time job just to keep a roof over their head, food on the table, the kids' school stuff straight, and to afford health care if you have kids, because you have to have it because kids are going to get sick and so are you. And so where do people have time between the full-time and the 2-3 gig jobs? And maybe some people are still going to church and still volunteering in church, letting the church exploit them to death, and still, in whatever other organizations that they're in, their sorority or fraternity or whatever. What time?
And then if
do people have to read?
You don't. And then if you're privileged, you might be able to make it to college where you have time to sit down and read.
But then they put an AI in all the so you trust in this large language model to think for you, when all the large language model is doing 30,000 Google searches that you would have done. That's all they're doing. That's it. That is all they're doing. They're not They're not thinking. AI does not, and I had to learn this myself because I did not understand it. Artificial intelligence is not like a thinking, it's not a computer. You're asking it a question, it's sitting there thinking up the answer and organically providing you an insightful answer that you and your little human brain could have never come up with.
It's going to its queue and finding the answer.
It's searching all of the information that exists that is already there on the internet within its purview or reach or whatever you want to call it, and it's basically doing literally tens of thousands of Google searches and coming up with the best answers. That's what it's doing. So that's not helping anybody think critically or read more either. Wow. So
great start of the show. Let's go ahead and take a break because we getting into it. I enjoy Women's Wednesdays with Jackie Boy. We be talking about some y'all better come and find out.
I do. Can we talk about Godzilla next?
Why not? Let's go ahead and do that. I'm all ears right here on No Other Than the Remix Morning Show. Yeah. Welcome out, y'all. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in and showing your love. Make sure y'all share. Let other people know. Take a screenshot. Put it on your social media and say, listen, y'all should be checking out the Remix Morning Show. They actually talking about something worth something being heard. All right. That's my word. Let's big up no other than the brother Malcolm X. Yes. Birthday this weekend. Make sure if you are in the Atlanta area, y'all come out. I'll be rocking on Sunday at 3 p.m. At the West End Park, also known as Malcolm X Park. So tune in for that. But speaking of Malcolm X, I wanted to show some love and put y'all on to what I was watching a little bit earlier and seeing what he's had to say. So check out Malcolm.
I don't believe in any form of segregation or any form of racism. I'm against any form of segregation and against racism.
Am I right in saying that the black Muslim movement, which you have left, did believe in that?
Well, Elijah Muhammad taught his followers that the only solution was a separate state for black people. And as long as I thought he genuinely believed that himself, I believed in him and believed in his solution. But when I began to doubt that he himself believed that that was feasible, and I saw no kind of action designed to bring it into existence or bring it about, then I turned in a different direction.
Are you still a Muslim yourself?
Oh, yes. I'm a Muslim. I believe in the religion of Islam, which believes in brotherhood, complete brotherhood of all people. But at the same time that I believe in this brotherhood, I don't believe in forcing my desire for brotherhood upon those who aren't willing to accept it.
Of course, I think the Christians would say that they also believed in brotherhood. What did you say to that?
I'd say they believe in it, but don't practice it.
Oh, your boy is slick with it. Big up to Malcolm X. Make sure y'all rock out. Say his name this weekend. Say his name now and keep our ancestors alive and flowing and going. All right, with that said, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show.
I love that horn breakdown. But that horn breakdown.
Woo! Yeah. Big up to Leah Boggs. And then I like the Jackie Ear Doctor combo, Black Liberation Media. We like you, Leah.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
I just keep asking her questions. I found out how to do, a show with Jackie. I just say some wild shit and keep asking questions. It's not hard.
You know how to wake me up on a Wednesday morning because and this week in particular, man, it's been things kicked off in Kenya yesterday. Let's we're gonna talk about this really quickly. Not gonna get into details. Let me make sure. Yeah, here we go.
Big up to my homegirl Kimbui from Kenya.
Hey, all right. So yesterday in Kenya, what's today? Not yesterday.
13th.
This would have been Monday in Kenya. Kenyan police basically confronted and broke up and attacked a demonstration, a peaceful march by anti-imperialists in Kenya. And this is the BAP statement about this. We issued it just yesterday. Kenyan government offers red carpet for colonizers and a bloody nose for anti-imperialists. Yeah, because, what's his face? Macron, the red carpet for Macron, red carpet for Trump. But the anti-imperialist Africans in Kenya and their allies from around the world coming for the first Pan-Africanist conference, a Pan-African summit against imperialism, which is a counter summit that is being held to the summit that Emmanuel Macron is co-hosting in Kenya right now with William Ruto. So let's get into this. The Kenyan state has demonstrated a consistent and brutal willingness to deploy state terror against organized political dissent, targeting revolutionary leaders, working class organizers, and anti-colonial voices with impunity. Past cases have laid bare the state's methods, the violent abduction, torture, and illegal detention of Comrade Booker Ngesa Omole, Secretary General of the Communist Party Marxist Kenya, followed by the grotesque inversion of reality in which the victim of state torture was framed with fabricated assault charges. Today, as French President Emmanuel Macron co-hosts the France-Africa Summit, rebranded as Africa Forward 26 in 2026 in Nairobi with President William Ruto, announcing 23 billion francs in investments while seeking a permanent French military presence in Kenya now. The Ruto regime has exposed its true character as a neo-colonial and comprador administration, acting in defense of imperialist interests against the democratic rights of the people. So that is why the demonstration happened, okay? The regime has chosen to criminalize anti-imperialist solidarity while rolling out the red carpet for foreign exploiters and agents of monopoly capital. Among those arrested in the ongoing crackdown are distinguished anti-imperialist and revolutionary activists, intellectuals, and organizers from across the globe. Their only crime is standing with the oppressed. Their only crime is rejecting imperialist domination. Their only crime is declaring that Africa is not for sale. I'm going to give you the rest, give you the link to this statement in the chat for you to read the whole thing. Please share it widely. There are more details about this that we will likely have next week. We're definitely going to have a few people. Hopefully we'll try to get some folks from the continent to come and talk to us about it. But we'll definitely have some folks on next week to talk about what happened in Kenya, because some of our folks are there.
They're like Brandy. They just want to be down, boy.
So this is the kind of stuff that now remember, the AES began its consolidation with kicking the French military, kicking the French out of their countries. And remember when we said, when that happened, amid all of the conversations about, this isn't revolutionary, this is a military coup, and all of this confusion, and we warned people, okay, we're not calling it anything. We're going to watch and see what they do. But it's a good step that they kicked out the French first, so now we see, and remember that we warned folks that just because these countries have kicked the French out, it does not mean that France will go away from the continent, because without Africa's uranium, France would be dark. Because at least 20% of their energy comes from nuclear, and those nuclear power plants are powered by the uranium from Africa. So France isn't going to no.
They ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere. That's why they're in Nairobi. That's why now Emmanuel Macron has moved his colonizing show to Nairobi, because he needs the French military to be on the continent somewhere where they can still have access to African resources that France needs that they're not going to give up. All of this is happening at the same time that the US is, attacking Iran, Venezuela, Cuba. They got plans for Nicaragua. They're interfering in Argentina. That they've already destroyed Argentina's economy. Already. What Argentina? Oh my God! The lead up to the election of Salvador Allende in the 70s that led to socialism in Chile that the US helped to coup and introduce the brutal dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. that happened in Chile. Oh my God. This is it is the same. It is neo-colonization in a new age. It is the same thing. And it is, none of these things are disconnected to all of these other things that are happening, not even what's going on in Iran. So because Israel is deeply involved in a lot of these conflicts on the continent too, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
So believing that what is going on in Africa, what's going on in Palestine, what's going on in Iran have nothing to do with us, that's crazy. Has everything to do with all of us.
Yeah. Cause I'm looking at it now, I'm thinking about, like, it's all about resources everywhere. Even when you talk about these Marvel movies, it's about this energy cube that has infinite energy that can, it's always something about energy. And because I'm like, they going over there to Kenya. Did I just unlock something?
You did.
So you always trying to get some type of resources, no matter who's on top of the land. We're gonna try to frack. We're gonna try to go to outer space. We're gonna try to find some type of energy resource to continue to, like, you can't get this from the sun by now, like solar panels. Go ahead, Jackie. I see you bubbling. You ready to say something?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What was the resource they were fighting over in Black Panther?
Vibranium.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What was, let's see,
Congo. What was it for? Phones? I mean, we could keep going.
No, what was it? Oh shoot, I lost it. The Batman. The one with what's his name? Morgan Freeman.
Okay, and he was in charge.
And remember the football stadium? And
Yeah.
What were they fighting over? What were they fighting over?
Probably more energy.
It was nuclear. It was an infinite energy source that would solve the world energy crisis by literally flipping
Fallout energy.
Yeah, man,
that's all it's about.
Good grief! Oh boy, this is good.
Oh, you ready? You ready for Darker Than Blue now? Ain't you?
Oh my gosh! I didn't even think about, like, the Infinity Stones. That's
Infinity Stones. Yeah.
In Paradise. Oh.
It's energy is resources. So do these colonizers really hate us, or do they just want the resources? That's when it comes to it's like, we mad that we mad that y'all sitting on our resources, right. First of all.
Y'all are in the way of the thing that's really important to us.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a continuous thing, and that's why everybody's going after Africa right now, to try to rip it apart and take their resources, because they know that's where the majority of the resources are.
I don't know why I never made that connection in all of these action, particularly the superhero movies that I do love. I love the because I love action movies. I just really do. And I know they're ridiculous. I know they're, but yeah, I never thought of the infinity cube as an energy source, as like
Mhm.
a resource.
Mhm.
Now I'm even thinking of what is it? The X-Men.
The
And
X-Men, all of it, energy.
so like here, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is why the politics are important,
Mhm.
because in ways that we don't even realize, they're sort of telling us the truth about what they do and why.
Yeah. Put it
They're
right in
telling
our
us the
face
truth. Oh my God.
this whole time. Yeah, man. That's the importance of media, importance of controlling the narrative. It's just like we'll throw it, we'll show you. We'll put it all in your face and then call it fiction.
Here's the weird. Well, I don't know if it's weird. I
Mhm.
think I need to travel the world more. I think I need to watch more global television to kind of see what it's like, because go visiting a country for a week or two, I don't think that's enough. I think I'm talking up a reason for me to like go somewhere for 6 months.
Mm. How about just to get
But
the fuck out of DC for a
please, let's
minute?
just,
How about that?
a giant hawk can come pick me up for all I care
Yeah.
at this point. But I mean, it's when you're in another country and you're watching television, you have a little downtime, turn on television, watching television. Like in Venezuela, I noticed how um, there are there are ads for things, but they're ads for they're not it's not an ad for everything.
Mhm.
It's an ad for like food, like
Mhm.
baby formula, that stuff like that, but it's not like 15 different companies
Mhm.
telling you that their baby formula is the best, or that. So there are not that many commercials for products in Venezuela, and they do a lot of regional programming where they're out in the mountains, they're out in the farmlands, talking to the people about their cultural stuff. They have a lot of the political proceedings, the government proceedings, and the ministers have shows where there's a lot of political content on television. That people can see all the time. And there are a couple of channels where it's nothing but, patriotic songs
Mm.
about the country and the history and the revolution. So, television in Venezuela is different. Yeah, there are telenovas. You have access to Western cable shows. And they have reality shows and all that kind of stuff, game shows, talk shows. Um, but it's just different. They got cartoons for children,
Mhm.
all kinds of cartoons. But their cartoons are about, saving the environment, protecting the environment,
Mhm. Like Planet Earth and
that
stuff.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Little kids in the communes,
Mhm.
working in the communes and serving the community, and that kind of thing. Little kids fishing, and that, so, and it's the same kind of thing in Cuba. Um, China was interesting. Um, there are ads for products in China. There are Western chain stores in the big cities in China, like Shanghai, because Shanghai is an international finance city.
Mhm.
So there are uh uh what was the thing? There are 7-Elevens, there are McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes,
Mhm.
Pizza Hut, all the chains there, Starbucks, all of that. But you can find, local Chinese brands like literally right next door
Mm.
or to the and then those things are not advertised on Chinese TV. You're not going to see an advertisement for a non-Chinese product on Chinese television.
Mm.
They do not do it. And they don't do advertisements for like everything. You're not going to see a lot of advertisements for a bunch of perfume and that kind of thing, like needless mindless consumption. You're not going to see a
Yeah.
lot of advertisements for that. But those things exist. I mean, Shanghai is kind of class stratified. There are classes, there are rich people, there are middle class folks, there are poor folks, but there's no poverty in China. everybody can afford to live a dignified life in China. And yes, there are people who are rich who can afford ridiculous things. But those rich people don't control the government. They don't control local governments. And they don't control what poor people have access to and what they don't have access to. That's the difference in China. So it's very interesting just to watch television in different countries. And it's a really weird kind of experience not to see a commercial for a product every 5 minutes. It is very interesting.
All right, I was just thinking, man, you remember back in the day when we used to be that resource? Like they would come and put us on boats and take us and put us in the fields because they couldn't be out there in the sun. And now, no, I was just thinking about earlier, we were talking about how we need energy sources, like when we were the energy source. And that's slavery came about. And now it's like they don't even need us now because they got data centers. We used to be the source, but now they like, we don't really even need y'all no more. We got data centers that can give us this. We got AI.
That is a terrible comparison.
We got to get back in the race, y'all.
No, not like that. Not like that. No, we don't. No, we don't. That is a terrible comparison. You know it was terrible. I saw how hard you tried to make that make sense, and you know.
But yeah, it's like now we're not the resource no more. They find another way.
Nobody should want to be the resource.
But that's why we were getting picked. Like, yo, let's go grab this resource. Let's go grab this resource. Let's go, and now it's no longer need for us. Shit.
Well, that's why they rolled back the Voting Rights Act. And so, it could compel us to go back to what's it called? Sharecropping. That's what I think I did a show on Darker Than Blue not too long ago about the destruction of Reconstruction and how we don't understand how much trouble that has caused. If the Reconstruction coup leaders and coup plotters and carriers out had been punished, if the South had been punished properly, if them mugs had been sent to prison, if some of them had been sent to the gallows, I said what I said, if they had been punished for the treason they committed, we would not be in this situation right now. We might be in a similar situation because white supremacy is white supremacy and it's gonna white supremacist. But the South was never punished for their war crimes, for their crimes against humanity, for 300 years of crimes against humanity. And then the North, the white North, reconciled with the white South because, they didn't want to keep paying for taking care of the blacks. Oh, now the blacks are free and now we have to take care of them because of what y'all did to them and they have nothing. Okay, we have to take care of them. But after a very short period of time, white folks in the North, and particularly white folks in the South, were, okay, that's enough. Don't you think they've had enough help? Good God. Why do we have to still helping them? This is costing us too much money. We're tired of paying all this money. Why do we still have the military down in the South? Because they knew damn well those people were going to slaughter us. That's why the military had to be there. But the white folks in the North knew that. They were tired of dealing with the reconciliation with us. So they said, you know what? No more. We're not helping this Reconstruction effort anymore. They're not slaves anymore. They're free. They can compete for jobs with everybody else. They can compete for land with everybody else. We don't need to help them anymore. And they shook hands with the Southern white folks and said, we reconcile with you. We have to make up and stitch this union back together. And the Southern whites said, okay, fine. But here's the thing. We are going to deal with our blacks the way we want to deal with our blacks, and you are not going to interfere in how we deal with our blacks. And the Northern whites said, okay. So the federal government, I'm serious. So the federal government moved the troops out of the South. And the troops, the federal troops in the South was the only thing between the mobs of racist white terrorists who were frothing at the mouth to mass murder Black people, now free Black people, and destroy the Reconstruction governments that were implemented by some of those elected free Black representatives and progressive white people in those southern states. Federal troops moved out, the white racist terrorist mobs moved in, cooed the Reconstruction governments by slaughtering people, reimposed all white governments in those states, destroyed the Reconstruction constitutions, which were all full of progressive laws giving Black people, poor white farmers, poor white people, poor white landless people, and poor white farmers, and even women rights that they did not have before. And that's why we're here. So what you're seeing today with the Supreme Court ruling against the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, it is the same thing. It's right in the stream of history of the South destroying the progress that African descended people have made in this country. It is the destruction of Reconstruction all over again. And because the destruction of the first Reconstruction was never, ever punished, here we are again. So I understand people are very, very upset and very, very afraid and very, very, oh my God, our voting rights are gone. Oh man. You never had them, honey. I don't know what to tell you. Those rights never meant much, sweetheart, because look at who you were given a choice to vote for. Politicians who never did anything for you.
Given a choice, like given a choice.
Yeah.
And then let me put quotes around choice. Yo, Old Dirty has something that Kung Fu has something I thought to do was just think about. If you south of Canada, you're in the South. We never really, when we look at America, a lot of us don't consider Canada as North America, and then South America. Like, we never learned about the slavery and stuff that went on in Canada when it comes to it. Like, that's a whole open book that we never even talk about. Because I'm wondering, was it more we talk about America as where we're at because we brought, as in we were able to work the fields here? Was it just so fucking cold up there in Canada? They was like, nah, we don't need y'all. We can do this. I don't get it. Why don't they ever talk about Canada?
I love how you frame slavery. Like, we were able to work the field. Like that was something we wanted to do, but we couldn't.
No, like they was like, yo,
up in Canada. Hey, let's go down a little bit further south.
No, that's them taking us. Like, yo, bring your asses up here and work these fields. Like, we don't never hear about Canada. Like,
because that's how we're indoctrinated. That's how we think that when we say America, it means the United States of America. Mm-hmm. No, America's it is North America, South America. It is the whole landmass.
Yeah.
We are a part of the Americas. The United States is not America. It is a part of the Americas. And all of these people that folks are talking about are immigrants. They were indigenous to the Americas before the colonizers came here. So all these people that this country are deporting, talking about they're illegal. No, y'all are illegal.
Yeah.
These people are indigenous to the Americas.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And the reason we don't talk about Canada and we don't think about Canada as just as evil as this settler colony is because they're settler colonists too. and they have framed themselves as the more polite Americans.
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh-huh. While hiding their own colonial history and their own brutality against indigenous and First Nations tribes there. And some of this history has been exposed in, again, entertainment. But it was a terrible series. It was awful. It was called The Book of Negroes. And it's based on an actual book about the history of Africans in Canada. And you get from that history a part of why Canada became the final stop on the Underground Railroad. Canada also looms largely in the history of John Brown and the raid on Harper's Ferry, which I cover in my book.
Nice plug. I like how you did that. I seen it coming. I seen it coming.
Did I do it? Yeah. I've been practicing. I've been working on it.
Nice, Jackie. I like it.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, we don't. It's the same thing. Like when I did Darker Than Blue, and this, every time I think about this, Ear Doctor, I honestly wish you were there to see your face when this man said, when I interviewed the 2 mayoral candidates a couple weeks ago on Culture in DC. And I didn't know that one of these old ass black men was an ADOS type. I had never heard of this guy before, but I've lived here since I was 6. I know the type. I saw him and I was like, oh Lord. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. So we get through the interview. We're getting toward the end, and everything's cool. They've both given some fucked up answers, liberal bullshit. They ain't gonna do nothing. But it was like, all right, it's not bad. And then we get to the end, and this man says something about, and this wasn't even what the forum was about. It was about culture and arts. And this man somehow felt the need to talk about how, in order to make sure that the DC Humanities department remains funded at a consistent level, the first thing he would do is remove the funding from the sanctuary city legislation, because he didn't feel like it was right for all of these people to come to DC and be able to get all of these services while, he's seeing people waiting online for affordable housing dying. As if that's the fault of people who immigrate here who are not so-called citizens. That has been the waiting list for public housing in Washington, D.C. has been more than a decade long for decades, right? As they destroy public housing. But they destroy public housing, but this man sat on that show and blamed immigrants. And so I wasn't supposed to go back and forth.
Yeah.
But I couldn't let that go.
You
so
hold my beer. You said, hold my beer.
So, I did. So, because I was like, say what? So I asked, like, what? Why would you say that? In the long-winded, eloquent, more diplomatic way that I did. Like, why would you blame the struggles of working class and poor Black people in this city when you know it is the developers and private corporations that are controlling and stealing our money, and the politicians? Why would you blame immigrants? This man said, well, we don't know that it's private corporations and developers controlling our money. For the past 45 minutes, that's what they both said.
What the hell is a bank? Go ahead.
And then he said, but then, I don't like the idea of somebody else getting in line in front of us because, slavery, we were slaves on this land. That's unique to America. And I was like, nigga, you said what? And I don't like using that word. I'm backing off of that word the older I get, because it doesn't even feel comfortable coming out of my mouth. But I looked at him, and that was a first. Yes, man. Yes. And I'm still, and I know the people who asked me to do it, the organization that asked me to do it, they're watching. So I'm like, because I can barely control this space. And
Yeah.
folks in the chat was like, "Oh, Jackie pissed." And I'm like,
It's like
so
this.
I'm trying to, but I'm thinking, nigga, what?
Mm.
The fuck do you think that slavery only happened here? And so this is the kind of thing that folks who don't know anything about anything outside of the borders of this place, this is what causes them to believe the stupid shit they do. Like, this is what causes people to believe that we are not African. Because, yeah, we've all been indoctrinated to hate Africa, to separate ourselves from the continent. We know that. But one of the reason it is so easy for people to believe this ADOS FBA, we're not African, they don't have anything to do with us, we're really American, so that's how we're going to get reparations, is because we really do not know anything about any country other than this one. We're not required to know. We're not taught about other countries. We're not taught that not only was slavery much more horrendous here than we understand, but it existed in throughout the Americas. That's why there is a diaspora. It existed throughout the Caribbean. So that is why there is a diaspora. So no, slavery didn't just happen to us in America.
Listen,
We are all over the place.
go to a room of young people and ask them what a maroon is and see if they know.
Oh Lord, I can't. Don't make me do it.
I've done it. I was like, you don't know about the maroons in Suriname and Jamaica, and
don't make me do it. I can't.
It's not being taught. It's not being taught. So.
So it's reading is so fundamental. Reading really does kind of open the rest of the world up to you.
But Jackie, doesn't it come back to being a privilege? Like, just like we was talking about earlier, do you have time to read? If you're going to school, if you're young, you got school work, you got athletics, then you got to come home and try to read something that's not being taught.
And you grow up, and I get that. Yes. The answer to your question is yes. For a lot of us, especially like we talked about earlier. When you're a working class and poor person, what free time do you have? What leisure time? What leisure time in between 3 jobs, a full-time and 2 part-time gigs? What leisure time do you have to read? Right. So yeah, I understand that is an issue of privilege. But it's not an issue of privilege that is artificially, well, how do I explain it? It has been turned into an issue of privilege. That's what I think I want to say. It's not like having the leisure time to read is automatically or intrinsically an example of privilege. It is made into a privilege to have leisure time to read because the working class is denied leisure time. That's why it's framed as a privilege. So is it really a privilege having the time to read, or is having time to read, meaning having leisure time, a privilege because the system exploits people by refusing them leisure time? Do you see what I mean?
So that means the people that have a privilege, how do we combat it? So how do we bring this all the way back around and focus back to how we started the show, talking about media? We need the people that have the privilege that sit down and read these books to get with the media people, the people that's making these Lego things, the people that's making these shorts, that's making these 90-second videos that our youth are consuming because they're not watching whole TV shows. So we need this merge to happen of people that's doing the reading and doing the educating to get with the people that's in media. And that's why this show, this platform is so important, because we're able to, control the narrative. We're able to give you the history, the knowledge, the this, that, and the third, where it's not an outside influence that's coming through and saying, nah, it shouldn't be done like that. So
I think, and look, social media is a thing. It's probably not going away anytime soon. Dear God, I wish it would. But
we can't use old tactics. We can't use old tactics, Jackie.
Well, no, wait a minute now. Hold on.
We can use some. We can use some of the tactics, but we have to adapt them to newer stuff that's going on. That's going to capture.
Not
nobody's reading. How are we going to get them to get educated if nobody's reading? How are we going to do that? We got organizing.
Organizing is the same regardless of what you're organizing for. You have to connect with the people. And by connect with the people, I mean being among the people. If you want people to understand something about data centers, you're going to have a public meeting to explain to the people why they should not support data centers when they bring that proposal to your community, right? That you can send that information out through social media, through the shorts, through the reels. Yeah, you can and you should, but you should never reject going directly to the people, right? That has to be the old school tactics have to be a part of the strategy with the new school tactics. Definitely. So if we want people to read, book studies. Yep. Book clubs, reading clubs, get a bunch of people together and read a book together. Even if you're just reading 5 pages a week, go at people's pace, do it in a group. It's I am learning the power and the utility and the greater success of engaging in an action that we want people to come around to or to understand is a lot more effective than telling people this is what you should be doing. I can tell people to read.
Yeah.
But if people have never read, I mean, honestly, people don't know what to start with. They always think that when we organizers tell people to read, that we want them to start with like War and Peace, the blueprint for Black Power, which I still haven't read all of. But no, it's start small, but you have to do it in community.
And big up to D-Dub, $3,075. So not going to deal with anti-Blackness immigrants constantly have for us, not with the division, but it is ignored.
It's not something that is ignored because all immigrants are not anti-Black, because they are Black. A lot of them are Black. A lot of them are Black.
Some just don't know it.
No. Let's be clear. This whole discussion about immigrants, from white folks, we're talking about immigrants don't belong here. They're taken from people who pay taxes. They're getting services that people who live here can't get. That's a damn lie, because in order to get welfare, you have to have a social security number. So they don't have a social security number. So you can't get, immigrants don't get welfare. Right? And if you're mad about immigrants getting health care, that comes from public hospitals being legally required to provide service for anyone who comes into the emergency room, regardless of whether they have health insurance or not. And that extends to residency. That is the law in every state for a public hospital. That's not something special that immigrants get, health care that everybody else can't get. That's crazy. And that's why there are so few public hospitals, because they have to treat people whether they can pay or not. All right. So then that's one side of the immigration argument. And then people not wanting to talk about why people immigrate, literally walk thousands of miles with their children and all of their belongings on their back through 3 or 4 different countries to get to safety. People never want to talk about it's U.S. government policy that created those problems in their countries. Racist U.S. government policies. that drove those people out of their countries. Then on the other side, you got Africans talking about all the immigrants hate us, don't know anything about these people, don't know anything about those countries, don't know anything about what the US government has done in those countries to drive those people out of those countries. But because they're immigrants, they all hate us. And here we are believing the same lies that the State Department has told everybody else around the world about Black people. We are siding with the State Department and using it to hate on another group of people that the US government exploits. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But again, like we've been talking about, we believe these things because we are indoctrinated to not know anything about this government, about this country's history, about our history in this country or the world, and about how it all connects to impact us all. So we believe these silly things about, a group of people who are being exploited, their homes being destroyed, the people they elected to run their governments being assassinated or cooed, and a bunch of psychotic mass murderers taking over the government and massacring all the poor people who just want their rights in their land, to the point where people have to leave their country in order to live. And here we are getting our asses kicked by the very same government that's funding and backing that, talking about the people who are victims of that come here and have anti-Blackness and hate Black people. Jesus Christ.
And big up to the chat room, but chat room, let's when people have comments like this, let's not try to find a wrench and get them out of here. We need to have these opposing thoughts so that they could be broke down for those that's out there might have the same thought. You know what I'm saying? So let them cook. You know what I mean?
I mean, to a certain degree. To a certain degree.
To a certain degree.
Degree. I don't mind people. I wish that people would ask a question rather than make a condemnation, or I wish that people would do that. And it's crazy because like I look, we're in the midst of everything else that's going on. Like this whole ceasefire thing.
Yeah. Sure.
Like everybody knows that Iran has won. Everybody, and that includes Trump. But his ego will not let him just walk away, and nobody around him is going to let him walk away, because they all have different ideological reasons for wanting to continue this and ultimately try to destroy Iran. Right? So the ceasefire is basically on it's dead. There is no ceasefire. Yeah. There never really was the ceasefire, because the United States never stopped with the aggression against Iran, and Israel absolutely never stopped with the ethnic cleansing of Lebanon and the genocide in Gaza that is expanding now to the West Bank. So we're sitting here having, and it really blew my mind when this dude, this mayoral candidate in DC said this in this forum, and I explained to him, and he said what he did, and I'm like, y'all, we are one sleep away from nuclear Armageddon, and y'all are pissed off about immigrants getting in line in front of Black people to get some benefits that ain't shit, that they don't give us anyway, that they've never given us to a degree that has actually helped us, that we had problems getting before the immigrants ever came. And I don't understand why this is the conversation, but people aren't focusing on everything else that is going on in the world that has brought us to this point. We down bad. Ear doctor, we down bad. I'm really considering intentional day drinking in my pajamas outside. Just Go ahead and call the people and come get me and put me in a padded room. I don't know how much of this I can take.
Nah, we got to continue to go, Jackie. That's we built like this. You know what I mean?
Must be.
Yeah, we have to. We because as they say in the comic book, those with power, or how they say it, how they say the Spider-Man, when you have great powers,
With
you
great
gotta
power comes
comes
great
great
responsibility.
responsibility. Exactly. So that's what we had to do. We had to make sure we're responsible with waking up at 8 a.m. Well, for me, 7, and getting ready to come here on the Remix Morning Show and making sure, because that's the thing, Jackie. You got to understand your lane. I'm not the book reader, but I know how to do production. I know how to make sure and be consistent and make sure that people that do read these books are here to have these conversations with y'all and to analyze things and break them down in a way where I can't. But I am one to ask a question to find out, certain things that some people might be wondering. So play your lane, stay in your lane, do what you're supposed to do. We all need y'all, and that's what it is. To have a revolution, everybody has to play their role. So continue to do that. Now, what we got coming up on Darker Than Blue?
I am leaning toward I don't know. No, I'm actually I think I'm going to talk to somebody from Friends of the Congo this Friday, but we're also still in pledge drive, and I do have to apologize because yesterday I was supposed to pledge with my friend and comrade and brother Anthony Rogers Wright on his show, Full Spectrum. But the chaos yesterday, I completely forgot, So I apologize for that, y'all, and Anthony. But Friday, we'll still be in pledge drive, so we'll be talking about something. I don't know yet.
Okay, pledge drive.
So send me some money. Send me money.
I don't know who's gonna be here tomorrow, but we'll see if we're gonna have a show tomorrow. You got something to do. I got field
Yeah.
days. I got everybody having these field days at school, and they need DJs. So
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They have DJs for field days
Yeah.
What?
I've done 2 high school event yesterday. I'm doing 1 today, and I'm doing 2 middle schools Thursday and Friday. Yeah.
Field day. Where they
Field
just
day. Run
send the whole
outside
school out into the
Yeah.
football field and
Yeah.
y'all just run around and get sweat. And they got a DJ for
and
that.
they got DJ. Yeah.
Y'all kids are too damn spoiled. You too spoiled. Yes.
I mean, what's
That's
a
what's
field day?
wrong. That's
Hey,
what's wrong with these
don't mess
kids.
up my money. What's a field day without a DJ? You gotta have a DJ at field day.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
man.
That's every field day.
Put it up, Jerky. Messing up the bag. Anyway, so
I wish I had something. I wish I had something that fun to do tomorrow, but I'm getting this. I'm getting this tooth extracted.
I get to play 2 hours of ratchetness with different grade levels. It's
Lord have
amazing.
mercy.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Where did y'all grow? Who raised y'all? Wait a minute. Who
What?
raised y'all? What do you mean?
What is field day? Oh man,
what is happening? Are you from New Jersey?
No, listen, they don't go outside no more in these schools. They don't even have recess. This shit is crazy now, Jackie.
Man,
they don't have
like
recess.
Field day was the best. Everybody got ticks.
You got your own shirt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The ice cream truck would come around. We would get the ice cream truck.
Yes.
We
The
have DJs
and everything. Yeah.
DJs, man.
That's right. That's right.
So basically, the kids, y'all, they have cookouts now. Basically.
Yeah, they got food, DJ, everything.
See? Ain't nobody playing nothing. Ain't nobody doing no flag football. Ain't nobody doing no frisbee. Yeah, nothing. No, nothing. No volleyball.
They doing all that. But speaking of being outside, y'all gonna catch me this weekend at the Malcolm X Festival if you're in Atlanta. So come on out. It's gonna be dope. I'm performing at 3 p.m. on Sunday. So rock out. If you can't make it then, just come out. It's gonna be a family affair. A bunch of people out there with picnic baskets, blankets and everything. It's gonna be dope. All right, and I'm trying to figure out we're gonna do this classical breakdown. I'm gonna see. We might do a pre-recorded because I'll be working tomorrow.
I just noticed that there were two hands on the. I just noticed that.
Oh, right there. I mean, what you thought? You thought Stevie was gonna pick it up and do it himself? Stop playing.
I just noticed that, and that just tickled me so much.
I'm done. Listen, I enjoyed you today, Jackie, as usual, and I enjoyed the chat room chiming in. As much as I act like I don't, I love it all. All right, well,
we do.
We out of here. I'm the ear doctor. That's Jackie Lukeman. This is the Remix Morning Show. Peace, y'all. Have a good one. Organize, rise. Black Liberation Media is a collective of Black and African organizers, journalists, academics, and media personalities serving Black and African masses seeking to further grow in their understanding of themselves, their histories, and the African world through entertainment and news. Please continue to like, subscribe, and donate to the channel so we can further serve you and liberate our people. You can also go to blkliberationmedia.org, get some merchandise, and also become a Patreon member and a member from the YouTube. Please do what you can, share, and show your love as we will show ours for you. Black Liberation Media.